asking it, so it's recording.
Where and when were you born?
Well, I was born in Logan, Utah, February 24th, 1934. And by the way, I am Mona Loy Schenavar. And people in the ward that knew me when I was growing up know me as Mona Loy, because there were two Monas in the ward. But when you get a name like Watterson and Schenavar, that's too long, so I got rid of Loy. What else did you ask?
How many siblings did you have?
Okay, I am the oldest of 7 in the family. So I have a sister 2 years younger than I. She lives in Orem. Then there's Wayne Watterson that lives in Upper Benson. And then I had two twin sisters. One of them died. The other one lives in Youngward. And then Jim Watterson is my brother. He lives down here. And then my youngest brother, John, lives in Richmond. So I was the oldest and the baby tender in the family.
Wow.
Who were your parents?
Who were my parents? Joseph Lamoni, and Kate Reese Watterson. And I was brought home to this house when I was born. I've lived in this house my whole life, except for just a few years when I went here and there. But this is home. Yes, this is a good old house. It was built in about 1900, I think.
Wow.
Tell us about the Benson you grew up in. What did you do for fun?
Okay. Well, we used to play kick the can. You ever played that? Oh, okay. It's like hide and seek, only they have a can, and if they can get in and kick it, then they're free. We can't catch them. We did lots of jumping. We jump rope. The girls played jacks. Do you know what jacks are? The boys played marbles till their thumbs would bleed. They're playing for so long. We used to roller skate. The winters used to be a lot colder. And usually by Thanksgiving there'd be lots of thick ice out on the sloughs. So we'd build fires out there and ice skate. Have weenie roasts. The snow, we used to pile up so high. Sometimes when you look out the windows of the bus, all you could see was snow, because the snow was way up that high. It used to be big drifts.
Tell us about the school that was in Benson. How many kids attended?
Okay, the school was about where our church house is now. And it had 3 rooms, and we had 2 grades in each room. And so the teacher would teach us for 2 years. There were only 6 kids my age. 3 girls and 3 boys. But the class ahead and the class behind were bigger, so when there were 2 classes in the room, it kind of was filled up. But there were only the 6 of us. Mrs. Schaub, back then, she was Miss Butler, and she was our first grade teacher.
Is that Adele?
Adele. And she would take us home to her house to have slumber parties on the weekend. It was her parents' home where she lived there in Upper Benson. She used to put on her snowsuit at recess with us, and we would go out and sleigh ride down the hill there by the school, clear down out onto the sloughs. Teachers wouldn't dare do that anymore.
No, they would not.
Mr. Thornley was the teacher for 5th and 6th grade. He had lost one leg in a buggy years and years ago, so he had a crutch, one leg in a crutch. He had the bell in his room to ring for recess, And so we would get him playing rummy. He loved to play rummy. And we would get some mighty long recesses. Then when they'd come in, he would go in and play basketball with the boys. With his one leg and his crutch, he could play. He'd play ball. He'd use his crutch as a bat when he was playing softball. And you've got to hear about our hot lunch. This really tells how old I am. At first, we would bring us a piece of bread and some milk, and we didn't have any way to keep it cold. And there was a lady that lived probably about where you did, or where you do, and she would make a big pot of soup every day. And she'd put it in the wagon and pull it down to Benson's school. And we could get a dish of hot soup for 2 cents to eat with our bread and our milk that we brought from home. And that was the beginning of hot lunch.
Wow.
Am I old? One more thing, gotta tell you about Roy's store. You know where Perry and Carol Reese live? And that little part out in front was where the store was. And so they sold penny candy and ice cream and bread. Sometimes the bread got awfully old before you bought it, but we'd run out of bread and I'd get sent up there and buy bread. But at recess, if we had a penny or two, we'd run to Roy's store and buy penny candy to eat. And I know at church, they always opened the store after church so we could spend our money. Let's see, how many kids were at school? I suppose there were maybe not 20 in a room between the 2 grades, I'd kind of guess.
How many? So the whole school had how many?
Maybe 60, maybe not even that many. And then we would be sent to Smithville for junior high, where Summit School is now. It's where the junior high was. We went on to North Cache for our high school.
That's where my dad went. How many